What's good, YouTube? Black Beans Pain here. Today I wanted to show you guys a video about how to combat the meta deaths. In this episode, we'll be talking about how to combat Spellbooks. Now, as we all know, Spellbooks are a Tier 1 deck that is commonly used and has had quite a few tops in both the TCG and the OCG. So right now I'm going to tell you guys about quite a few cards, depending on your decks, that you guys could run or side that will help you against Spellbooks. The first card I want to talk to you guys about is Horus the Black-Winged Dragon level 8. This card can be sided in, or if you want, granting Heretics, Disaster Dragons, and Elemental Dragons are the 3 decks I would recommend, because they're all dragon related. And with Elemental Dragons you can search, level 6, get out level 8. With Heretics you can easily get level 6 out, destroy a monster, and get level 8. And for Disaster Dragon, it's pretty much the same thing. It's pretty much easy to search out, or just get out in the field. Anyway, the reason I recommend this is because Horus the Black-Winged Dragon level 8 is a 3000 beater, which beats over pretty much anything Spellbooks have in their main deck. The highest being Priestess, which is 2500. Its effect is as follows. This card, it cannot be normal summoned or set, that's the downside to it. But the upside, and it can only feel summoned by the effect of Horus the Black-Winged Dragon level 6. And during either player's turn, when a spell card is activated, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So, pretty much, this card just can shut down the entire deck. Because the deck doesn't really run a lot of monsters, and the ones they do run aren't necessarily that powerful, besides Priestess. And honestly, about the spells, the only way they really have out of this, besides Priestess, is Joe again using its discarding effect. And the chances of him drawing one card is very, very slim. So the earlier you get this card out, the better chance you have of winning against Spellbooks. And on a side note, this card is a multi-trigger effect, so it can be used multiple times per chain. So it's not like Lad, where if they summon use Fate, Lad automatically negates, and they use another spell card and it will go through. Well, instead of that happening, it had the option to gain it on that second time as well. So they activate Fate. The first time Horus will negate that, and then they chain another Fate or something. Then Horus can negate that as well. So it would pretty much stop their entire deck. Next, Spell Canceller. This card is also an alternative to the Horus. If you don't want to have to get level 6 out, destroy a monster in battle, get level 8. This card can be sided in Frognarts, Heretics if you want to. Oh yeah, Heretics, and any other deck that can easily get out one tribute, like Elemental Dragon. And this card says, as long as this card remains face-up on the field, spell cards cannot be activated, and also the effects of all face-up spell cards are also negated. While it is pretty much a weaker version of this card, considering that you have the option to gain your opponent's only and your spell cards can be activated, and Horus has higher attack power than this. This card is, for some decks, easier to get out, for one thing. And the fact that it negates spell cards already on the field makes it pretty good in Spellbooks as well. And the fact that they can't even activate it is just really good as well. The only flaw of this card is that it has 1800 attack, so Priestess could easily be over this. But besides that, they don't really have any outs to this card, so Spell Canceller does work. Eradicate Epidemic Virus. If your deck runs high-level dark monsters, like if you're running Dark Worlds, E-Dragons could side this in, Gravekeepers could potentially side this in, or any other deck that has some high-level dark monsters. This card, you tribute one dark monster to 100 more attack, and then you say either spell or trap. And then for the next 3 turns, your opponent has to reveal their hand, and all spell cards are automatically destroyed on the field and in your hand. And every time I draw a card for the next 3 turns, you have to reveal it. If it's a spell card, obviously it's destroyed. So the good thing about this card is that you see their hand, and because spellbooks are pretty much almost entirely spells, this card will wreck everything. So Epidemic Virus does work. And then draw and Lockbird and Thunder King and Death Lockdown. Well, spellbooks not only have a lot of spells, but if you're for some reason your deck can't run any of these, don't worry, there's alternatives. Draw Lockbird, Thunder King, and Death Lockdown all do something in common. They all stop cards from being added to your hand. And spellbooks are known for being able to add cards to their hand constantly, with Spellbook of the Secret, Judgment Day, and quite a few other cards as well. Draw and Lockbird, if your opponent adds a card from their deck to your hand, it's a hand trap where you just pitch it and then neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand for the rest of the turn. So it stops spellbooks for a turn. Thunder King, turn 1 is pretty devastating too, because Thunder King, 1900 beater, so okay, it pretty much beats over a lot of the deck, and they can't add stuff from the deck to their hand. Although Thunder King will slow them down, it might not kill the deck, considering the fact that Priestess is not inherent spell summon, so Thunder King can't negate it, and the fact that Spellbook of Power can be used to help their monsters beat over Thunder King, but regardless, Thunder King Rai-Oh is a really good card against Spellbooks. And then Death Lockdown is a card that lasts for only 2 standby phases after this card's activation. Well, 2 of your standby phases after this card's activation. It says neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand, except by drawing them, and monsters cannot be spell summoned from the main deck. So this card does do a bit of work for Spellcast against Spellbooks for about 2 turns, because Spellbooks love to add cards from their deck to their hand, like I said with Thunder King and Drollbird, but Judgment Day also has the option of special summoning a spellcaster from your deck. So it will stop so it's really good about that too. Not to mention the fact that I believe there is a monster card in Spellbooks that allows them to tribute it and you get to spell summon this Spellbook monster from your deck. I believe it's something like that. But yeah, it will stop all of that too. So Death Lockdown is really good. Imperial Iron Wall. This card won't hurt them as bad as the other cards, but it's a generic side card now that ever since E-Dragons came into the mix, so you've got a lot of people will probably have this card side in or side out anyway. But Imperial Iron Wall will stop spellbooks from banishing their spellbook cards from the graveyard, and also prevents them from banishing cards on your side of the field, so they can't bait any of your cards. So it's pretty good in that respect. And Prohibition. If you're going game 2, and I even seen some people main this card, but if you know you're playing in Spellbooks, you can easily call cards like Master, Secrets, probably Secrets or Judgment would be the best 2 cards to call. If you somehow get weird drawing luck and you draw 3 of these, Secret, Judgment, and Fate, you're pretty good to go from there. So Prohibition can just lock down their deck. And yeah, that's about it for this video. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe, like the video, comment in the comment section below any other cards you guys know that can counter Spellbooks, and I will see you guys next time.